Right? Shalom. Want to give all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of breaking his soul. Citation to the 144,000 men of 1/3. Men, women, children like to be saved, right? We need no introduction, right? We are the Hebrew Israelites, the Most High chosen people, all right? So-called Negroes, Latinos, Amerindians, and natives are the Most High's chosen people, all right? They, the Most High, set up to be a royal priesthood unto himself, to teach this word, teach the Holy Bible, to teach the law, statutes, and commandments, all right? And our people have fallen from our glory. And our glory is what? Spiritual power. Our glory is spiritual power. I'm not talking about necromancy, soothsaying, conjuring spirits and whatnot, conjuring left-hand spirits. I'm talking about real spiritual power. Spiritual power goes into what? Us having a preeminence over everything that the Most High created, because the Most High gave us that power, right? Now the Most High gave Esau left-hand power, and that's the name of this lesson. We're going into spiritual power. The Most High gave Esau left-hand power, meaning what? He has the ability to do certain things or gather certain information from the left-hand angel. Right?
My friend, brother, good evening. Can you assist me 140?
140?
Yeah, I'm sorry to bother you, man.
No problem, brother.
Yeah, it's embarrassing to me, though.
No, it's all good. We all fall short something, right? Because if I wasn't here, if I was late here, I was gonna give you this.
Thank you.
That's all. You take it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Right? So the Most High gave Esau left-hand power, left-hand preeminence, so to speak, whereby he could commune with left-hand angels and do certain things. For example, look at Chris Angel, look at the technology that he has, like Elon Musk. He could put a microchip inside your head that could help you to see, to hear, and whatnot. But that type or that level of power is small thing, or that's on the dark side of the force, if you will, right? But the Most High has given his people spiritual power from time after time, right? And that power starts with what? Wisdom and knowledge and understanding Yahweh, all right? So let's get into these precepts. All right, this is Matthew chapter 10, verse 5. Bro, the mosquitoes out tonight, bro. Yeah, this is Matthew 10, verse 5 to 8. It says, these 12 Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, right, sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All right? So the Most High has what? Commanded us to go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All right? Not to everybody. This sheep is not for everybody. It's for the Israelites. All right? And you can tell an Israelite by what? By the Spirit. The scriptures talk about, and the spirit of a prophet is subject unto a prophet. All right? Meaning what? Like saying in the world, real recognize real. All right? We could discern through the Spirit. You know, we have to be spiritual discern the mannerisms and characteristics of an Israelite. You know, how he carries himself, how this word resonates with him. You know, how he reacts to the word. You know? That the heathen don't want it. The scriptures talk about the heathen rejecting this word. You know, and they want to lean on their own understanding. So the Most High give them up to the vile affection, so to speak. Right? Yeah, this is verse 7. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give. Alright? Provide neither. Yes, that's the point right there. So the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So in these last days, the Most High is going to remind us who we are. Right? The scriptures talk about that in Malachi 3, that a book of remembrance was written for them that thought upon his name. Alright? It says that we would heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely have received, freely give. So we freely receive this word. The elders and apostles didn't give us, and before we even asked, you know, the Most High return us back to our glory. The Most High just wants us to put forward our best foot, because what could be better than knowing who you are and knowing what you're made to do, knowing your purpose, knowing why you was created, you know? So, all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that he gave us a spiritual power. And most of all, spiritual power to discern evil. Let me get a quick in Malachi 3:18. Well, I'm at it. It's Malachi 3:18. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not. Because when we was in the world, we would judge a man based on, you know, how much you would laugh with him, how much he would help you with money, you know, how much he would respect, you know, respect your boundaries when it comes to your female or whatnot, or your family, you know. But now we could discern that once you're not out here putting your hands to the plow, he that gathereth not scattereth abroad, roughly paraphrasing, right? Right? So the Most High bless us with that knowledge to discern, you know. Let me get John 14:12. This is John. This is John chapter 14, verse 12. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also. And greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. Alright? So greater works than Yahushai, who the world calls Jesus, shall we do. So that spiritual power is turning up bit by bit. Alright? Now we understand deep things, you know, dark sayings, you know, things that people have been wondering for years. The Most High revealing that to us, and, you know, and we diligently seeking the word through the Most High Spirit, of course. All right, Most High put that Spirit on us. The scripture says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and everything shall be given unto you." You know. So the kingdom of heaven starts with His word on the signing way, because in the law it says that the king should have a copy of this law. Alright? And if we aspiring, or if we're hoping, I should say that word, hoping to be the elect, or one of the elect, I should say, we should have this word and study it as much as we can, you know. And I'm speaking for myself first, obviously. Yes. Alright? Let me get Acts 3, verse 1 to 10. This is the book of Acts. Chapter 3, verse 1 to 10. Now Peter and John went up together into the temple at the hour of prayer, being the 9th hour, and a certain man, lame from his mother's womb, was carried, whom they laid daily at the gate of the temple, which is called Beautiful, or Yapa. Alright, that's in the Hebrew, to ask alms of them that entered into the temple, who, seeing Peter and John about to go into the temple, asked alms. And he said that's the spirit, because the guy just asked for some alms. You know, and you know, if it's on your spirit to help a Jake, he might not be in the truth or whatnot, but you know, you store up treasures in heaven when you help help your fellow man. All right. He wasn't asking for much, buster or whatever. It says, and Peter, who seeing Peter and John about to go into the temple, asked alms, and Peter fastened his eyes upon him and with John, and said, Look on us. And he gave heed unto them, expecting to read something of them. All right. Then Peter said, Silver and gold I have none, but such as I have give I thee. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach of Nazareth, rise up and walk. So the Most High gave these men, the disciples, as I read earlier in Matthew, the ability to restore this man to his strength, to his glory. Because now that he can walk, he can move and help himself. Alright? And in the kingdom there will never be a sick Israelite. Alright? There will never be a sick Israelite. Again. So the Most High gave them the power to make this man walk, and they believed. They said, look at us, we're going to help you walk. And that's why I was mentioning earlier the spirit of discerning who's righteous and who's not, because the spirit would help you to understand who we should help and who we should not help. Alright? Alright? So he looked on the man, told him get up, because he was there on a regular basis, to beg alms at the temple. But that's the thing with our people. Our people are giving people. Our people always been giving. When Cristobal Colon or Christopher Columbus came, our people received him. But what? Vengeance was in his heart. That perpetual that perpetual envy, that perpetual vengeance. That perpetual hatred, to be exact, according to Ezekiel 35. Let me see it. It says verse 7 in Acts 3, it says, and he took him up by the right hand and lifted him up, and immediately his feet and his ankles received strength. Immediately his feet and ankles received strength. So I was told that there's some brothers. Well, I know there's brothers, but I didn't personally meet any of them or seen them or so forth. But I was told about a brother who wished he could have come out to do the works, but he wears the garment, he come to the feast and whatnot, and there's brothers that can't see, there's brothers that can't hear, brothers that can't speak, and so forth. But the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is on them. It's on them to do the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They link up with brothers in message. They ask for prayers and whatnot. And Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is the one that's blessing them, keeping them in keeping them in the spirit, keeping them zealous. So and when the Lord increases our spiritual power, we will be able to help those brothers, or those brothers help themselves. And then there's the 11th hour we're currently in, where more and more Israelites are waking up. But the Lord is going to seal the 1/3 sooner than later. All right. It says, verse 8, and he leaping and stood and walked and entered with them into the temple, walking and leaping and praising Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right. And that's why Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai healed him, because he didn't go home or go and do anything. He went into the temple to give the Most High praise, glory, and honor for restoring him to his strength. The Most High is a merciful power. Most High is a merciful power. He has no pleasure that any one of us should perish. But the Lord is not slowly, but the Lord is restoring his people. Alright, it might seem slow to us. The scriptures talk about when we are delivered from this captivity, it can feel like a dream. It can feel like a dream. Alright, let me continue on it. And they knew that it was he which sat for alms at the beautiful gate of the temple, and they were filled with wonder and amazement at that which had happened unto him. So they were filled with wonder and amazement at which what happened to him, because miracles wasn't happening on a regular basis, you know. Miracles wasn't happening on a regular basis. Because the wicked scribes and Pharisees, they were just oppressing our people. Just like these wicked pastors today, just like these wicked Israelite camps that's oppressing our people. You know, using tithes to tax them. You know, working for Esau. You know, we gotta enjoy this captivity. We gotta pay our tributes and whatnot. You know. All right. Let me get John 21, 24, 25. Yeah, this is St. John chapter 21, verse 24 and 25. It says, this is the disciple which testified of these things and wrote these things, and we know that his testimony is true. And there are also many other things which Yahweh did, the which if they should be written, every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written among. Alright, so greater works than Yahweh we're going to do, but listen to how many miracles, how much spiritual power or wondrous works that Yahweh did. Alright, that they wouldn't have books to contain them. So if we can do greater works, it could be back-to-back miracles. Super, X-Men ain't gonna got shit on us. Because it's not one ability we're gonna have several abilities. Our intellectual capacity gonna surpass that idea that they mentioned in the movie Lucy. We can understand the elements and the factors and the ordinances that the Most High created, bro. We can understand the properties and so many things we're gonna understand through spirit of power. The Lord is gonna bless us. He has already blessed us, but it's just turning up bit by bit. Alright? Yeah, Matthew 14. Matthew 14, 19, 21. This is Matthew 14, verse 19, 21. It says, and he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and brake and gave the loaves to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. Alright? And they did eat and were filled. So as Yahweh multiplied the loaves and the fish for the disciples and the people and the multitude, so will we do with our families when shit hit the fan, when things get worse. Alright? The Most High is gonna bless us with that spiritual power. It's not gonna be no struggle. I mean, there might be some time whereby our faith will be tried and tested to see how much we believe. But when that time comes, different things are going to test us, and we're going to continue to believe. Our faith is going to grow even more as we continue to progress towards Judgment Day, towards Salvation Day, towards Redemption Day. All right, it's going to grow because we got to believe in that spiritual power, and we got to recap on it and remember that we're not going to suffer and struggle for all eternity, bro. We won't have to struggle to reach our inheritance, our kingdom that is set before us. We just gotta go through these trials and tribulations. Alright? Endure hardness as a good soldier, as it is written. You know? As the scripture says, light affliction. And the Lord is gonna increase our spiritual power if we be those men. Alright? Continue in Matthew. It says, and they did eat and they were filled, and they took up of the fragments that remained 12 baskets full. And they had eaten, and they that had eaten were about 5,000 men, beside women and children. Alright? So that's the amount of people that ate when the food was multiplied. The abundance of meal, and you know, everywhere there's going to be a famine all over the world. It's going to be a famine because the poison in the food, the poison in the water, the poison in the air, the poison in the land. So what do you feel going to happen? Everything is going to dry up. The animals are losing their vehemency, if you will. They're losing it's another word, bro. The countenance, you know, so to speak. They're not nourishing as much. You drink some water, you're still thirsty. You know? You're still thirsty if you drink a little water. You're still hungry when you eat those food. Or when you eat the food, you're barely getting energy. You may make you sluggish. You know? You know the little knowledge from the Most High showing to Dr. Sabi and brothers and whatnot. But still, the scriptures state that we can eat defiled bread amongst our enemies. Alright? They don't care about us. They don't care about us. The medicine that they're giving us is fucking poison and elixirs, enchantments in a vial. You know? These are positions of no value. That's why we need spiritual power to restore that which is deteriorating, that which is decaying, bro. Alright, let me get us out of precept. It's Matthew. Acts 19, 11 to 16. Yeah, this is Acts 19 and verse 11. It says, and the Most High wrought special miracles by the hand of Paul. Alright? Paul, imagine Paul who used to kill the disciples, kill the true Christians, I should say. Alright? Used to kill the believers. Used to kill the hopefully elect. The Most High called him out, and that's spiritual power right there. For the Most High to redeem us from our filth. Alright? And for us to have that glory once again. The scripture said wisdom caused a man's face to shine. But the Most High wiped away all of our iniquity and forgot the chasm at the bottom. Alright? As it is written, yeah? Roughly paraphrasing. Alright? The ability to stand firm on our 2 feet and say that, yo, the Most High bless us and we got no sin, because the Most High is the one who justified us. And we gotta believe in that. We gotta believe in that because how we can stand or how we can survive, continue to survive in a place like this that oppressing us every minute, every second, bro. Alright? It says so that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs, aprons, and diseases departed from them, and the evil spirits went from them. Imagine that they brought garments of people that was afflicted by spirits and ailments and whatnot. They brought these garments and they were healed, they were delivered. Just by the faith of doing that. Alright? But Esau flipped that script. I got Jake's doing voodoo. Taking hair from people, taking garments and personal stuff from people, and putting what enchantments and hexes and curses on people. Not knowing it was intended for good. Alright? As Joseph said, what they intended for evil, the Most High gonna intend for good. Alright? And they turn the things upside down. They pervert the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Now a day like today, if somebody bring a garment to the camp and to the Lord's mercy, that person receive healing. Alright? Just like the centurion would say, just say the word and they're gonna be healed. They're gonna what's the word? Demonize us as they did Yahweh Shai. They claim that Yahweh Shai is doing these miracles in the name of Beelzebub. Alright? But Beelzebub don't do no good. But here's what we gotta prepare for. That persecution. Alright? Verse 13. Then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, saying, we adjure you by Yahweh Shai, whom Paul preached. And there were 7 sons of Sceva, a Jew, and a chief of the priests, which did so. And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahweh Shai I know, and Paul I know, well, who are you? Alright? So that's why we need that spiritual power. We need that mercy. We need that exemption from judgment. That's tawah. That mark. Alright? So that when these spirits, when these spirits that are creative of vengeance come, they would know us that our names are written in the Lamb's Book of Life. Because Yahweh Shai said that. Glory not that these spirits are subject unto you, but glory that your name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life. Alright? So that's what we waiting to reveal. Hoping that we're part of that. Because that's the men that are going to receive that spiritual power and the first fruits among the first fruits to receive that new body. So that what? So that these angels, these left-hand angels and the right-hand angels will be subject unto us and not torment us as we are right now. Because like the scripture says, the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak. It's like yeah. Right? Because we're in this flesh, we're susceptible to sin. It says verse 16, and the man in whom the evil spirit was leapt on them and overcame them and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of the house naked and wounded. Alright? So they didn't have the spiritual power. This is not something you could borrow and because you know the names, it can be that easy. No. Your name has to be in the Lamb's Book of Life. You have to continue this work. You know, endure to the end. Teach this word in season, out of season. Alright? Keep the commandments to the best of our ability. Alright? Not justify ourselves. Alright, let's continue it. Acts 27 verse 33. That is Acts chapter 27 verse 33. And while the day was coming on, Paul besought them to take meat, saying, This is the day. So let me start over. And while the day was coming on, Paul besought them to take meat, saying, This day is the 14th day that ye have tarried, and continue fasting, having taken nothing. Wherefore I pray you to take some meat, for this is for your health. And for there shall not a hair fall from the head of any of you. And when he had thus spoken, he took bread and gave thanks to Yahweh in the presence of them. And when they had broken it, he began to eat. Alright? It's a lot here. Right? And 36. Then were they all of good cheer, and they also took some meat. And we were in all in the ship 216 souls. And when they had eaten enough, they lightened the ship and cast the wheat into the sea. So this apostle, Paul, what? He did a blessing. He did a miracle. He multiplied the food for the men on the ship. Alright? For the men on the ship. And it was so much that they had to lighten the ship. They had to cast the rest of the patience. You know what I'm saying? So the Most High ain't playing, bro. Most High ain't playing. The Most High is not slack concerning his promise. He's going to bless us with that. Alright?